Welcome to Playing with Possibilities. This is Cecile. I'm here with Christine. We're hoping that a day is going to join us soon. Whew, okay, so let me do this for real. Hey y'all, and welcome to Playing with Possibilities. I am joined by my friend and colleague Christine Gautreaux, and hopefully my friend and colleague Ade Anifowose will be joining us soon. On the show, we talk about everything from spirituality to social justice, from being human and connecting with our ancestors to how the things we do create our reality and how we can intentionally create our collective reality together. My name is Cecile Armstrong. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a Black woman and a self care and social justice facilitator, streaming from the unceded ancestral lands of the Kickatan, colonized as Newport News, Virginia. I am the founder of Inspired by Indigo, an online membership community where I guide folks to let go of blame, shame, and guilt so we can make equity a habit. Every month, we go through 4 steps together for support and to create the habit of undoing what we have lived and learned about race, privilege, and equality. And those steps, hold on, I can stream them across the bottom, I think, if I can find it. Oh,
Woohoo!
there to go. Woo, look at me. All right. All right. So those 4 steps are self care, know your facts, undo the work, and then rest and celebrate. And if we do these in incremental steps, we just a little bit of self care, learn a little bit more than what we already know, actual facts, not myths and lies, and then go out and do something different. Those baby steps will change the world. And then remember to rest and rejoice, get back in our bodies, let that adrenaline, get out of our system and then start over. If we keep doing this, then those little incremental steps, they make big change. All right, and so to find out more, you can click in the description and check out the link to my website that's there. And if you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn, please follow. And if you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and then hit the little bell so you'll get a notification when we go live. Also in the description are links to find out more about Christine and Ade. And Christine, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, my friend.
Mhm.
Hey, y'all, I'm Christine Gautreaux. I use she, her pronouns. I am streaming in from the ancestral land of the Muskogee Creek. I'm about a mile east of the Chattahoochee River in a place now called Duluth, Georgia. And I am a white social justice advocate, an international speaker, coach, Amazon best-selling published
Woo,
author
woo.
with my friend Cecile. And a dancing social worker who helps you upgrade yourself in community care. I am one of the co hosts and co founders of the Women Connected in Wisdom podcast, book, and community. And I am just so grateful to be here with you today, my friend, to celebrate, to talk about
Yes.
possibilities. I loved what you came
Yes.
up with as our topic for today. And woo!
Yes. All right. So today, well, before we get started, let's take a breath and then I will tell you guys what we're talking about, okay?
Right?
Because I'm excited and so I would like to get grounded in my body.
Right.
Okay. So I am inviting you to sit up straight because we want to give our bellies room to expand. So
Mm.
put your head over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, and then notice how you are feeling in your jaw. Is it tight? If it is, wiggle it around. Notice where your shoulders are. If they are up around your ears, intentionally drop them down. And then notice how you feel in your belly. If you are sucking that in like you are posing or something like that, let it go. Nobody's looking. Just let it hang out. Whew. And then let's take a deep belly breath, which means you are going to breathe through your diaphragm and not through your chest. Let's take a deep breath in and then exhale when you're ready. Now let's do one more, but this time on the exhale, we're going to make some noise and we're going to shake out our bodies. So go ahead and inhale and then exhale when you're ready. Whew. Shake it out, shake it out. Okay, so today we are talking about the possibility of success, whether it's at work, in your relationships, just success with staying grounded and in your body. What if things just go right? A lot of us are always like catastrophizing in our mind. What if things just go right? And how can we relax and let success come to us? And what do we do to block success, and how can we recognize that and then shift our mindset? So those are the things that I would love to play with today. What do you think, Christine?
I love that idea. I love the
All
idea of
right.
talking about it, especially on this tail end of this book launch last week and how successful that was.
That's why I
And
thought of it.
it it wasn't without stress. I mean, don't get
No.
us wrong. Like, but
Mhm,
yeah, like what if success is
mhm,
possible? And I've really been contemplating this, especially this compilation book,
mhm,
the doing it with 17 other folks, right?
mhm.
The I'm a collaborator. If anybody's
Yeah.
listened to us recently, they know it's one of my superpowers. And it's
Mhm,
also one of my joys and my purpose is to
mhm,
connect people together to resources and stories. But I think about the exponential, okay, what's the word I want to come up with here? But like the power of coming together, right?
yes.
The
Mhm,
power of community, the
mhm,
power of support,
mhm.
and how that leads to success, right?
Yes.
So
Well,
yeah,
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just
Well, I
gonna
was
say last week we were going for Amazon bestseller,
Mhm.
and we hit it within 4 hours. We
Wow.
literally, and our publisher had said to us, "Hey, y'all, Amazon's been a little glitchy lately, so we're doing this for 2 days. No, it might not happen the first day." And I'm like, "Oh,
Mhm,
it's happening. We got 18
mhm,
authors. This book is what? Let's do this." So we hit it within 4 hours, and then we
mhm,
ended up hitting three categories as
mhm,
bestseller, and
mhm.
hung out there almost all week.
Right.
And so the power of community to lead to success, I
Mhm.
think, is I think often in America we're taught about individualism, we're taught about
Ooh,
doing it by
girl.
ourselves,
Mhm.
and the message of this book in our community is exactly the opposite, right?
Exactly
That
the
we
opposite.
that we don't have to do this by ourselves, and we can
Mhm.
share it, and we can collaborate, and we can be collaborative over competitive. Now, don't get me wrong,
Yes.
y'all. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yes, we can be collaborative and competitive.
Oh yeah, because I was raised by a football coach in Texas. Competition is like in my blood. And I was telling our manifesting group this morning, one of my favorite categories was not even one we hit number one in. We ended up number three in it.
Right.
But what
Mhm,
was my favorite about it is I had gone to bed and Brene Brown's book, The Gifts of Imperfection, was sitting at number three, and we were sitting at number five. And I
mhm.
woke up the next morning and we had switched. And I like and y'all, I love me some Brene Brown.
I
She
know,
was
I do too.
right.
I do too.
She was one of my professors in my grad school and college, and I have sat at her red table that she talks about in The Gifts of Imperfection. So it
Mhm.
was just one of those moments, right? It was one of those like,
Yeah, that
whoop,
number 3 can be just as special as that number 1, right? Yep. And for those of you who haven't heard already, I'm pretty sure anybody watching probably has heard, but just in case you haven't, the book is called Women Connected in Wisdom: Stories what is it? Stories and resources rooted in the 8
Rooted.
dimensions of wellness.
Wellness.
And if you have not gotten your copy, you can go straight to womenconnectedinwisdom.com, and there's links
Mhm.
to that and our upcoming online conference, which is
Right?
free. So I suggest you just go to womenconnectedinwisdom.com. Um,
Thank you, my
but
friend.
yeah, so what I was thinking about with this success and doing it together was I felt okay with I can't remember what our word count was for each person for their chapter, but I felt okay with that. I actually felt a little constricted with that because I was like, I could write way more. But if
Mhm.
somebody had said, I want you to write a whole book, I would have been like, "Ugh," if I had to write the whole thing by myself. And then when it came to promoting the book, I was like, I don't know if I know enough people, but having 18 people and you only have to get, 3 to
Mhm.
5 people to do the, pre-reading, and you show up on your live and people will come with
Mhm.
you, and then I could go be on somebody else's live that I didn't necessarily know that well because I just met them through this process. And just the power of my little bit being amplified by that many
Mhm.
people and then helping to amplify other people, that just made it feel so much more doable, and then having gone through the process once, now I'm not so skittish about doing it again. And I might be able to do something bigger, you never know. But even if I end up doing another collaboration book, it's like, hey, this this works. Working community works,
Right?
and this is proof, you know. It's not just somebody who's, for the people who haven't done it, who are used to working by yourself, who think you don't like working in teams. There are
Find the
hard
right
out
team.
there. I was gonna say there are hard stories out there, but if you find the right team,
Mhm,
then it works
mhm.
the way it's supposed to. Yeah.
And surround yourself by people who want you to be successful,
Mhm.
who honor your success. Ooh, that mug is everything this morning, my friend.
Girl,
That
my
is
friend just gave me this
beautiful.
yesterday.
Ooh,
My friend
I
Ellen gave me
love
this
it.
yesterday. Yeah.
Thank you, Ellen. That is
Mhm.
gorgeous.
And on the inside, it says, "Believe in the beauty of your dreams." That's what it says on the
Mhm.
rim. Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I mean, surround yourself by folks who believe in you. Because,
Yes.
the reality there's this other culture out there about how we tear people down, how we
Mhm.
like, because we want them to be perfect or they're not good or the world's going to tear them down. So we should just tell, you know, I was really, I'm not going to say shocked because I've been a social worker a long time and I've seen a lot of things, but I had calls from multiple authors on this project where when they told their family or they told their best friend or something, the feedback they got was just heartbreaking, right?
Mhm.
And it's the little subtle digs or the little comments. And I feel so lucky in my chosen family, in my family, in
Mhm.
my friend, in the community I've co-created
Mhm.
that I didn't have that, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm so grateful for that. And if you do have that, if you feel like, "Oh, nobody loves me, nobody supports me," let's
Mhm.
find you people that do,
Yeah.
right? Let's find you people that will lift you up and hold you up and celebrate with you.
Mhm.
And we were on Manifesting Mondays this morning, and all of us on now, not everybody in Manifesting Mondays is part of this project, but
Right.
good portion, right? Because we
Yeah.
all been
Yeah.
together a while. And
Mhm.
everybody on this morning was part of this project. And
Mhm.
just, I think it was Joe Vandrius that said, we started sowing these seeds over 5 years ago when we
Mhm.
started this particular version of this mastermind group. And to be here through a pandemic, through two babies being born, we got grandkids on the way, we got nibblings, we got parents we're taking care of and being
Mhm.
caretakers, we've got people moving. I mean, life, right? Life.
Mhm.
And we are still holding each other up and having success in the midst
Mhm.
of it, right? In the
Mhm.
midst of
Yeah.
body deals, serious body deals for some,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
and I think every one of us on that call would say, could we have done it by ourselves? I mean, probably wouldn't have happened
Probably,
that
but it would
quick,
have been no, it wouldn't have been that quick, and it would have been
right?
so much harder. I know for a fact that for
Yes.
me, it would have been so much harder. So,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's the thing is we've done it in community, we've done it with incremental steps, we've done it
Mhm.
with visioning, and we've done it with stopping to celebrate along the way. Like,
Yes.
y'all, like, what?
Mhm.
What?
And right, and the other thing that made me think about this topic, about allowing success to come to you. I think I told you that I had a session with a mindset coach, um,
Mhm.
that I connected with on LinkedIn, and the what he said to me about, the way you feel about something, whether it's a person or an idea or whatever it is, the way you feel about that thing and the things that you think about that thing, that's what creates the energy about whether you're drawing it to you or pushing it away. And I recognized that I was having some thoughts that are pushing away some of the things that I want to come to me. And so, I'm having to reframe my thoughts and be very intentional about the way that I think about the things that I want to come to me. Not like, "Oh my God, where are you?" How come you're not showing up just yet? Or,
Right.
"Oh my God, everybody else has it so much easier." Or, it's got to be more like, you know what? I'm sorry that I was thinking that. Didn't even realize that's what I was thinking until I got intentional and listened. And then creating a space so that whatever it is that you're trying to draw to you feels safe enough to come to you, you know?
Right.
And even whether that's a person that you
Right.
want to come near,
Mhm.
or a concept like, money or I mean, I don't want fame, but fame would be a thing. If you're like, "Oh my
Mhm.
god, everybody else is so famous, and how come I can't get my name out there? Da, 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 da." How are you gonna get famous that way? If you're
Right?
like,
Right.
"Hey, you know, this is what I really want, and this is what I really need, and I am making space for this because this is gonna come to me, and I am working hard, and I know it's gonna show up, and thank you so much.
Right.
I'm thanking you in advance,
Mhm.
for whatever it is, then that allows that energy that you wanna draw to you to feel safe enough to come to you, and that makes so much sense to me.
I love that. What it makes me think about, Cecile, is years ago when Oprah Winfrey started her gratitude journals.
Mhm,
And I think it was her. I was doing one of her books or one of her programs, and I really got clearly giving gratitude for the small things, right? Because
yes.
I think sometimes we also think, oh, we have to wait until we have an Amazon bestseller. We have
Ooh,
to
no.
wait until, and it's like, no, like I always tell this story and it's so silly. But during that time, I always gave gratitude for this potato peeler I had. Like, I loved
Must
this
have been an awesome
potato
potato peeler.
peeler. I had picked it up in an estate sale for like $1, so that made
Mhm,
it even better, right? It was this
mhm,
brand new, and I just gave such gratitude for it because it was a tool that made my work easier, and it was
mhm,
joyful, and it just felt good in my hand, and it was like, but it was so little, but it was like it just brought joy to me. And
mhm,
living in that joyful state, right? Giving
mhm,
gratitude. Because I know, like, one of the things that's even coming up for me right now is tech, right?
mhm.
We had some stuff happen last week, and like our
We did.
paperback wasn't available, right? I just kind of like was like, I have no control over that, right? That's
Mhm,
coming when they fix the tech glitch. What I
mhm.
can focus on is the ebook, and this is
Right.
what we're doing, and this is um and I know because I want folks, if they're listening, to know it's not always easy, right? Because boy,
Mm-mm.
things are thrown at us all the time
Mm.
in this
Mhm,
world. And
mhm.
it is a choice, right? I
It
could
is
have
a
gone to
choice.
bed and pulled my covers over the head last week if I wanted to. And I was like, nope, this is what we're
Mhm.
celebrating, right?
Right, right.
And and it worked. It celebrated, and that built the energy, and that built the
Mhm,
excitement, and that built and there's more work to be done. I mean, I think,
mhm,
but I celebrate that. Like, I mean,
mhm.
that's the other thing I've had to come to really be there's always going to be more work to be done.
Right,
Like, if
right.
you are living your purpose and you are an entrepreneur, a solopreneur,
Mhm.
or even
There's
if you're
always
in a
work.
corporation, there's always work.
There's
So being
always work.
able
Your
to,
to-do list is never all the way crossed off.
yeah,
Every time you cross something off, 2 more things are added. And the other thing that I wanna say about gratitude is it's not just gratitude for what you receive. I mean, be
right.
grateful for what you're able to give, you know?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
being grateful both going both ways, I'm
Mhm.
grateful that, I have what I need, and I'm also grateful that, I can pay my bills or that I'm able to help
Mhm.
out somebody else or,
Mhm.
be grateful for the energy going in both directions. Because
Right.
if you're only receiving, then, you're like a
Right.
black hole and you're just sucking it all up. But if you're only giving, then you're way out of balance and you're going to be drained. So be grateful for it going in both directions. And it doesn't have to be for big things. Like you said, it was your potato peeler. And for me, I use my crystals and I have my favorites. And when
Mhm.
they are ready for me, I'm so grateful for that. When I go to use them and
Mhm.
I haven't cleansed them or charged them or something, and I'm like, oh, it's not ready, but I've got another one. I've got a backup, and I'm gonna make sure I do what I do for this one. And so it's like just small things. I'm grateful that my crystal is ready. I'm grateful when I light my candle and it lights the first time.
Mhm.
And I
I'm
don't have to
grateful when I
do
have
it
a
4
candle,
times.
because so many
Right.
times I'll go to light a candle and it's out, or, like, I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's I love that," right?
Yeah. So it can be
Well,
small things and it can be, both ways. I'm grateful that I was able to do this household chore so somebody else didn't,
mhm,
need to do it.
right?
It can be small things and it can be both ways.
Well, and I think about how grateful I am for the connections I have in my life, right?
Mhm.
And that whether they're on this planet or they've transitioned on, right? It's
Mhm.
like having that gratitude of connection, having
Mhm.
that gratitude of, um, yeah. And I'm also going to say, because it's coming up really strongly, is my connection to myself, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Is that really being able to sit with myself and be I don't satisfy is kinda not the right word, but it is, like,
Content? Yeah.
content, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
and taking a deep breath, and it's not that way all the time, y'all. I mean, definitely
No.
human, but I've done a
Right.
lot of work and,
Mhm.
been on this path for 25 years, probably
Mhm.
closer to 30 now,
Right.
and, being able to sit with myself
Mhm.
through
A lot of people
successes
can't do that. A
and through
lot of people cannot.
failures,
Yeah.
right? Well, and I
Mhm.
think we gotta bring this up, Cecile. I mean, people talk about it in the mainstream, but I think it is so true. You gotta be willing to fail. You gotta
Yes.
be willing to
Mhm.
take I can't tell, like, people are always like, they'll come to me and say, "How do you get your classes filled? How do people show up? How do" I
Oh my
I
gosh,
don't
how many
keep a
times have
count.
you
How
done
many
it?
times have I showed up and there's been
And it's
0
like,
to 1
no
person,
people
right?
what exactly.
And it's consistency. Like, part
Mhm.
of it to me is consistency. You know,
Mhm.
Shannon and I are currently ranked in the top 10% globally for women connected in wisdom. I
Mhm.
will guarantee you more than half of that ranking comes because we keep showing up every
Mhm.
week. And we've
Mhm.
got, this week is episode 87, I think, or
Wow.
86, right?
Wow.
And so we're coming up. We'll be coming up in January on our 2-year anniversary. So
Awesome.
part
Well,
of, to
I
me,
read somewhere
success.
that
Go
most
ahead.
podcasts don't last longer than the average
Yep.
length of a podcast is like 10 episodes and then
Yep.
people give up.
Absolutely. 'Cause it's a lot
So
of
I
work,
think
right?
yeah. Yeah,
If
it
you're doing it
is.
by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
having collaboration, having the and having systems. You're my systems girl, right? Like, having a
Yeah.
beautiful system
Oh
is
my goodness.
I think,
Having things automated is like the best, and knowing what's coming next is the best. I think I was sharing in the Manifesting Mondays group that I'm coming to the end of How to Talk to Your Racist Friends and Family,
Mhm,
and I ran it before. And it was like pieces were kind of everywhere. I did kind of automate some stuff, but I was kind of doing it using Facebook and my website. And this time, I was able to put everything in one place and it's basically automated. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to run this course again until next year, but it was so simple this time once I got all the pieces in place. I'm running that again next month. The class has been a success and the pieces are in place, so it's automated. I just need to like change some dates and stuff, but I'm going to run that class again next month because it's easy for me to do it and it's been such a success. So yeah. And hopefully this go around people will get it that this isn't just talking about racism. This is going to be like a lifesaver for people who, are getting together for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner and don't know how to talk to their family because all this political stuff comes up. This class is going to talk to you about how to do that.
right? What
Yeah,
a gift to yourself, right?
right.
What a gift to yourself to give yourself those tools
Mhm.
and that comfort. To me, your classes are a comfort, Cecile.
Aw,
And I
thank
know
you.
some people might look at it and go, "Ooh, yeah." I mean, there's some
Right.
work, right? There's some
Yeah,
work you
there's
got to
definitely
do
work.
in turn, but it's a comfort to have those tools and to have your body be able to relax around this topic.
Mm,
So
well,
I'm
I will
so
tell
glad
you
you're running again.
thank you. I'll tell you, I was surprised, because I'm gentle with what I say, but I don't like gloss over stuff. You're gonna get the work. And so,
Mhm.
my students that are going through the course this time, even though I'm like, okay, here it is, I tell them take a belly breath because I'm about to tell you what you asked. I'm about to tell you, and they're all
Mhm.
like, you know what? This was a lot and thank you because now I actually have a way to think about this or, this relieved this burden that I was carrying and now I can look at it a different way and, focusing on the incremental steps. And you don't have to go out and try to change everybody that you know. You don't
Mhm.
have to go out and try to change everybody's mind. You can focus
Mhm.
on, one person and just say, let me really build this relationship with this one person so they can trust me,
Mhm.
when we talk about this hard thing, and I give people steps. And so seeing people when I feel like I'm being harsh, like, "Hey, I'm just gonna lay it out for you," and then they come back and say, "You know what? That makes sense, and thank you for the way that you said it, and I'm gonna go do this." And yeah, so thank you.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you make the world a better place, my friend. I mean,
Aw, thank you.
I mean that,
I think we
and
do
you're
together.
yeah, I agree, right? That
Mhm,
togetherness and that success at it, and,
mhm.
you know, being able to change hearts and minds, or at least
And
affect
behavior.
them, right? And behavior. Absolutely. We want
That's
behavior to
the
change.
end goal. We start with the hearts and minds, but what I wanna see is
Right.
behavior change.
yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it's vital and so needed right now. Like this is so timely with what's going on in our
Mhm.
world, especially in the United States. I mean, all over
Right.
the world, really. But
Everywhere. Yeah.
and also in our families, in
Mhm.
corporations, in our neighborhoods, like,
Mhm.
how do we do this, right?
Yeah.
And especially, I think, things have eased up regarding the pandemic. Not everybody, but a lot of people are gathering again. They're getting together and
Mhm.
reminding ourselves that, "Hey, I like you. I may not agree with you, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, like, it's and
Well,
especially if you're related to them, like, having these
mhm.
conversations."
Well, I just want to clarify. You were saying
Mhm.
things have eased up around the pandemic. I
Mhm.
think the restrictions have eased up. I don't know that the pandemic has actually eased up from the numbers that I've seen. So,
Yeah,
I'm all for people getting together, but I'm also all for
be
people being
safe.
safe. Right.
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
a full weekend on Saturday. It was a lot of outdoor stuff, and,
Mhm.
so that's why I'm feeling it because I got to see more people than I've probably seen in 6 months.
Mhm.
But outdoors and things like that, and I
Mhm.
think that, yeah, and this winter, who knows what's gonna happen this winter, so y'all be safe
Yeah.
out there, right?
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
safe. So and take care. I think that's the thing we talk about in the book too, right? Wellness practices to be able to
Mhm.
maintain your wellness in the midst
Right.
of the chaos, right?
Mhm.
Because I don't know that's going to get any easier.
I was gonna say
Like,
chaos is always gonna be there.
right?
Mhm.
And so how do we do this? Right.
Mhm.
And I think that leads to our success, right? Because I was thinking about this as we launched this book because it does not escape me that a lot of times people who are talking about wellness or people who are talking about living their best lives often crash and burn around a new project because they're
Right.
so busy putting it out there and it's easy to get out of balance. It's
Mhm.
easy to let your health be sacrificed because you got this deadline this
Mhm.
time. But the reality is if our health goes down, it doesn't matter what projects we're doing,
Exactly.
right?
Mhm.
So
Which is why I teach the way
mhm,
that I do
mhm,
around, like, big, tough topics like racism and oppression. If you make it a
mhm,
habit and you do baby steps and you have this, habit of doing the self-care first and then resting afterwards, but you keep going, that's how you maintain your health, and that's how you make the movement sustainable.
mm,
So yeah, it's all about creating the habits that are gonna sustain you so you can keep doing the things that you're passionate about.
mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Yeah.
Whew. Good stuff, my friend. Good
Yeah.
stuff. I love
Yeah,
it.
so congratulations, best-selling author for the, what, second time? Because your first book was a bestseller
Right?
too, Amazon
Right?
best-selling Amazon author.
Well, right back at you, my friend. Congrats on being a published author.
Thank
Congrats on
you.
all your work. It was an honor to have you launching the How to Talk to Your Racist Friends and Family at the same time we were launching Women's
Girl,
Making
I
History.
didn't even realize that the dates were the
Yeah.
same until I had already announced my date for the class, and then I was
It
like,
was
"Oh my god," and then I
really
was like, "You know what? This dovetails.
it
This
does.
goes really well." Yeah.
It was perfect, and, originally it wasn't supposed to be that way, it's just the world of publishing, it got pushed
Mhm,
back, so, I thought
mhm.
it was perfect timing.
Yeah, it was.
Ade, which I wanted to have this discussion with him, I hope he's okay because he told us he'd be here, but,
Yeah.
he had pointed out last Tuesday was September 27th, and
Mhm,
so this project took us 9 months to birth, so we were in the
mhm,
ninth month, and 27, 2 plus 7 equals 9. It was not like it was a completion
mhm.
day when you look at it from
Yeah.
numerology, right?
Yes,
And
9
it
is
was
completion.
it was
Yeah.
like one of the highest numbers, completion, and
Mhm.
the excitement of new beginnings, and
Yes.
I am just delighted to be on this journey with you, and,
Oh, me too.
grateful to be in collaboration, my friend. Like,
Oh,
we got
yes.
some fun dancing to do this last quarter.
I
Like, what?
know, I
What?
know.
The fall wind is blowing, the trees are
It
showing us
is.
their beauty. Like, what are we doing? Yeah.
I know, girl, it's raining here, but I managed to get out for a little bit before the rain. I got in 3,000 steps before I had to run in, so hopefully it'll stop raining, I can get out and do another 3,000.
Is that still the tail end of the hurricane? Is that what y'all are
Yeah,
experiencing?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's still
were like
raining.
this really I'm in ATL, right? And so we
Mhm.
were this really weird, I think I said to you because you laughed at me. We were like the meat in a sandwich, like between Florida and North Carolina and Virginia. Like we were dry as a bone. Like we were like we expected to get some and got nothing.
Well, we
So
expected to get it way worse. It was supposed to
I'm
rain
glad you're
Friday to,
okay.
like, Monday or Tuesday, and it rained all day Friday, and then Saturday was dry. I was actually outside in the sun, walking in the grass barefoot on
Oh,
Saturday,
nice.
and then it rained, some more yesterday, but yeah. So, we were
Nice.
supposed to get,
Yeah.
like, straight rain, and we got a lot of wind, and we got
Okay.
some rain, and it's kinda been off and on.
Well, I'm glad y'all are okay because
Yeah,
Florida,
thanks.
whew, bless their hearts. I
Ooh,
mean, they
I
are
know.
suffering. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about environmental wellness in the book, right?
Mhm.
It's part of all of our wellness about
Yes.
for our individuals and our
That's the
collective,
collective wellness, yeah.
right?
Yep. Mhm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully they're getting the resources they need today. So
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, I
Yeah.
am just here in Georgia. It is a gorgeous fall day. I got out
Mhm,
and walked about 2 miles this morning after my
mhm,
chiro appointment.
mhm.
I want to give gratitude for that. I want to give gratitude for the healers, Cecile. Like
Yes,
for
yes.
those that are supporting people doing big work in the world. I think
Mhm.
that's huge. And all our buddies that meet us for walks or,
Yes.
keep us going, right?
Right,
I
right.
just, I think that does lead to success, right?
Mhm.
We set ourselves
Yeah.
up for success when we take care of our wellness
Yes, yes, I love
and are
that, setting
able to be
yourself
our
up for
best self.
success.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, friend. Well, thank you so much for joining today and having this conversation with me. I was hanging on, like, really looking at my phone, like, "Is the day gonna, like, hit me up?" He said he wanted to show up today. Um,
Um, I wonder if he's taking a nap because he's 6 hours ahead of us in the
yeah, I know.
UK.
It's
And
5:30 over there, so
I'm curious because he didn't respond to my text either. So
yeah,
something's
he
up.
didn't respond to my message.
He's
Yeah,
on a train or he's napping and we're
or
just seeing
something.
him taking care of himself and hopefully
Taking
he'll be
care of
back
himself,
next week.
yeah. I
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah,
We miss you,
'cause
friend.
he would've loved this topic.
He'd had a lot to say.
Yes, he would have. Ooh, alright. So, what are you talking about on Women Connected in Wisdom on Wednesday?
Ooh, that is a good question. I don't actually know. I gotta go peek and look. We
Okay.
talked last week we talked about occupational wellness.
Mhm.
So hang on. You talk about something and I'm gonna go look it up. I should know the
Okay.
answer to that, but I had a
Well,
slow morning. So
my blog post on Wednesday is about, adjusting with the seasons, and it's about, knowing how you show up in the winter versus the summer, and are you holding yourself to some kind of just expectation that you've set for yourself for no reason, or some kind of social norm uh, that doesn't really fit with how you operate in the wintertime and in the fall? It's about asking those questions and then adjusting your behavior and your expectations to suit where you are.
mm, I love it. We are
Thanks.
talking about financial wellness. We're talking about the divine feminine and finances on Wednesday
Oh,
with
okay.
our special guest, Davy Wetterer. So,
Okay.
looking forward to that conversation.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, if you are interested in reading my blog or joining my newsletter list so that you get the blog sent to you on Wednesdays, the link is in the description. If you want to check out the Women Connected in Wisdom podcast, the links for that are also in the description. And I I think that's a wrap. So, as always, I am sending y'all fierce love, and we will see you next time.
Looking forward to it.